Now, another question on the minds of parents and families is whether or not enough has been done to fortify our schools, to make them safe while kids have been at home learning, while kids were at home for the winter break. And we began our day today speaking with families and parents as they let go of their child's hands as they walked into school, simply hoping for the best.
I mean, happy but nervous. It's a good day. It's a very good day.
In a way, I'm nervous because if they get COVID, then I got to stay home.
Between the winter break and 2 weeks of virtual learning, Ontario's students have not physically been in school for a month.
These 2 weeks will provide much needed time for more vaccines, more boosters. It's more time for additional public health measures.
So what has the Ford government done with the time? They've sent out N95 masks for all teachers and childcare workers. 3,000 additional HEPA filters are going out to schools. Rapid tests are being sent home with kids, as well as cloth masks, which have already been criticized as too big for small children.
We have as many layers of protection as we can in the school setting to reduce the risk of transmission.
Some parents aren't so sure.
Do you think that the government has done enough to keep kids safe? No, not at all.
No.
We haven't allowed enough time to get these pieces into place. And so I think the government is doing some right things, but it so often feels a day late and a dollar short. And unfortunately, COVID, you can't negotiate with COVID. You can't be close. You can't get the benefit of the doubt from the virus. You have to cover everything off. And we just keep stopping short.
Epidemiologist Colin Furness believes the Ford government's unwillingness to mandate the COVID-19 vaccine for children in school, similar to other vaccines, is a missed opportunity.
What we should say is that vaccinated kids get to go to school in person and unvaccinated kids get learning support at home. And that leaves everyone with choice, but it would make schools miles safer for the kids in school. But I've got to say it, really miles safer for the unvaccinated kids.
Ontario's Minister of Health was asked today how the government could move forward with a plan to reopen parts of the economy without data on how today's return to in-person learning impacts COVID cases and hospitalizations.
There's very little evidence that there's high transmission just in schools themselves. We know that there's high levels of community transmission right now.
However, Ontario's own COVID data contradicts Minister Elliott's claim. The line in purple at the top of the graph shows the number of elementary school outbreaks before the winter break. It only drops off because schools were closed. The lines below show the lower number of outbreaks in bars, restaurants, and other business settings.
More than half of all outbreaks anywhere were in schools. So I think Minister Elliott has been misbriefed. I think Minister Elliott, who is not an epidemiologist, and we don't expect to be, has been misinformed.
While the provincial government will no longer be tracking and releasing data on COVID in the province's schools, the TDSB once again confirming that they will be contacting families who have a student who's in a class directly impacted by COVID-19.